The Winton Motor Raceway, as we say congratulations to the Victorian public and the interstate visitors. It has been a huge crowd. I'd probably go as far as saying their best crowd in a long time, if not ever, at Winton. And there's the man who is farewelling the crowd, his final Victorian drive in an illustrious career. As we check the starting grid for the third and final race, can Bargwanna make it 3 in a row? We'll wait and see. Bright, Ingle, Tander, Radicic, Scaife, Lowndes and John Faulkner, who's had a pretty good day.
Good effort from Stephen Richards, jumping up from 14th up to 9th in that one. Look at John Bow. Boy, what a yo-yo day he's had. 31st, right up there.
The birthday boy, Stephen Ellery, from 32nd to 18th. He's on the way forward. We get ready to go. Bargwanna on the left, Bright on the right. Third and final race of the day. Away we go. Barely even started, looked like. Bargwanna moves across, protects that line as they all swoop down into the first turn. Radicic was fairly aggressive on the inside. Tander was the big loser there. He went back. Longhurst getting sideways.
Well, it looks like the argy-bargy of the past has really been left behind. Last two meetings, very clean racing. It's continued all through today. Start to heat 3. No collisions by the look of it on this opening lap. Looks like one of the cars may be in trouble there. I'm not sure if that's Cameron McConville, but someone was going slow.
I think it might be Cameron McLean, actually.
Yeah, Cameron McConville's right here.
There's too many Cams.
No, I think it was McLean that time round. But Paul Radicic got a great start. Was you seeing one of the passes speedwaying back onto the road? But Radicic was the big winner at the start there, and Tander obviously the loser going backwards at a rapid rate.
Well, Cam McConville, what do you make of this? What do you think will happen? Can Bargwanna make it 3 on the trot, or is Bright going to get a little more aggressive?
I think there's very little between them, Lee. These guys have been running. They have been the pace all weekend. As you can see, Bargwanna leading by 8 points over Bright. But I spoke to Jason after the second race, and he said he's really protecting a championship. Oh, having said that, he said he did say he wasn't going to do anything silly to risk his points in the championship. So, but he's looking very strong.
Early on, Bright gives Bargwanna a little bit of a touch-up to see and to say what's in store for the rest of this race. Ingle is well placed in third. Then we go back to Radicic having his run of the day. Now Bright's trying to get an inside run here. Was there contact there between he and Ingle? Because he got it mighty crossed up all of a sudden. Now he protects his line very vigorously as Tander tries for the inside of Radicic.
Radicic muscling in on turn 1. Jason Bright got so sideways coming out of the S's there. Russell Ingle was almost able to capitalise, but Bright gathered it up, held his position. Paul Radicic in a real battle here. Craig Lowndes just continuing to pick up these points after a rotten start to the day. I was talking to the Mobile Holden Racing Team technicians, Matthew Crawford, and he was saying, no, we really haven't changed that much on the car at all. There's not much more we can do to it. We've tried every other possible combination. Craig's just driving it to its maximum, and they're picking up points as it goes. So it's a good, strong end of the day for Craig Lowndes, our championship leader.
Well, I think that run onto the main straight, I think Bright just got it wrong off the Ribble strip, Cam. There was no contact there between Russell, because you look at the front of Russell's car, the back of Bright's.
Definitely, I think he really got the curve there, launched the car, went into oversteer, and just watching at the top of the circuit there, you can see Bright had quite a bit of understeer on board. So let's hope for his sake that his tyres are still in good shape for the last race.
This is the closest of all 3 races. Look at the gaps as we go back through the field. Bright to Ingle to Radicic to Tander to Scaife, Lowndes, Richards. They are just lined up one after another, ready to have a go. A little bit of a gap between Tander and Scaife. That would be the biggest margin in the top 10 for sure.
It's interesting talking to Jason Bargwanna after Heat 2. And he was just saying that the technique required Cameron McConville. He was saying that to stop these tyres graining up, the big problem is if you try and put power on in a corner, the tyre's trying to cope with cornering and power delivery. He said if you keep it straight and you get the power on when the car's pointed straight, it makes a big difference. So there's a lot of driver input in this performance as well, isn't there?
Certainly, when you have to look after a tyre in these cars are quite heavy, you've got to remember, and you've got to drive the car very much like an open wheeler, as straight and smoothly as you possibly can, feeding the power on. And John Faulkner after race 2 said exactly the same thing, that he was trying to not excessively put any lateral force in the middle of the corner to drive the car as straight as he possibly could, and that's really the only way you can be up there after say 3 races of 15-lap distance.
As they swoop down on to the midfield section, Neil Crompton on the way back just ahead of Paul Romano there, then Greg Murphy, Cameron McLean, Ellery and Larkham. It's been a tough day for those guys. Lap 3 of 15.
John Bow, after qualifying 5th yesterday, he's had a terrible day. Ended up back to 29th. It's Heat 2, he fought his way back to 12th. Now he's up to 10th, so the Cat Ford having a real roller coaster day at Winton. Mark Larkham,
which is further back. Larkham's running at about 16th or 17th at the moment, behind fellow Queenslander Stephen Ellery. And McLean, well, I think he thought he was in for a better day until contact with Larry Perkins, who incidentally started rear of grid after changing an engine. And word through, David Truckee Parsons has done an engine, so he's gone from this one. The view from Larkham's car as Ellery makes a nice inside move on Cameron McLean.
Oh, they're all over the place here. McLean managed to gather up that first lap faux pas. Got him back onto the stuff. Now he's back in the queue. So the order at the moment: Bargwanna, Bright, Ingle, Radicic in 4th, Tander, Scaife and Lowndes running together. Richards up to 8th, Johnson in 9th, and John Bow rounding out the top 10. 11th is Leighton Cranbrook from Darwin, having a good run.
Well, Mark Larkham certainly concentrating hard there on the back of Cameron McLean's car. I'm surprised he didn't have a look underneath at turn 1. He probably could have slotted in, but played it cautiously. And he's closing right up on the back of the Greenfield Mowers car there. Getting quite good exit drive. You can hear no wheel spin not on board there. But again, McLean's car, no shortage of power this weekend.
On-screen info courtesy of the triple-emetry, and since the inception of the V8 formula in 1993, there has only been one Holden round winner, and that was Russell Ingall in 1997 after he won 2 of the 3 races. It has been all Ford between Seaton and Bow. But Jason Bargwanna is well on the way to notching up another victory for Holden, and well on the way to making it 27 wins to 2 wins in the 1999 season for Holden, which is just an unbelievable record.
Yeah.
Certainly is, and I actually met Peter Hannenberger and his wife Ingrid Lee after race 2 there, who's the chairman of General Motors Holden, so a good round for him to attend, with the Holden looking very strong here and looking like possibly taking out the round again.
Well, if Bargwanna can bring this one home and win this final heat, make it a hat-trick, he's going to join a pretty elite bunch. There's only 4 men that have won all 3 races on the one day. Craig Lowndes has done it 6 times. Glenn Seaton's done it twice. John Bow and Peter Brock have both done it once each. So he's going to be joining a pretty top cast there.
Craig Harris, the Brisbane-based driver, spinning in the Bathurst-winning car of Stephen Richards and Jason Bright of last year. That car did go momentarily to Greg Crick, and then Crick then on-sold it to Craig Harris. As Tander, we didn't quite see, but obviously got a poor start and was swamped, and Radicic was able to get up on the inside. So Garth is currently tied for points for 3rd with Russell Ingall, but Ingall in the higher position here looks good to stand on the podium today at his home test track. No positions changing, and Radicic unable to make any impression on Russell Ingall. Larry Perkins is off.
Oh, he's having a terrible day. He had to do an engine change, didn't make a start in Heat 2. Completed the engine change. He started off the back of the grid for this one. Now he's out in the scenery. So not having anything like the day his teammates having at the moment.
Well, he's doing it pretty tough in terms of the year as well. He's out of the top 10 in the points, and hasn't exactly been an enjoyable season. As we take a look at the number 2 Mobil 1 Holden Racing Team Commodore of Mark Scaife. Started from 10th at the beginning of the day. Was one of the many cars that ran off the circuit. The left-hand sweeper currently runs in 6th. Here's Craig Lowndes, the series leader, all over the back of his teammate.
Well, Scaife had a few problems in that second race, Lee. He actually had a puncture on the start line. They had to replace the tyre, and it was a left rear, which does all the work around this circuit, putting the power down. So the last 3 or 4 laps, he was really struggling in that second race. So hopefully some fresher rubber on board for this last race, and he can try and get some more points. But Craig is doing a great job in this VS. They actually didn't make any changes at all to the car in between races, but they're saying they're just chipping away, and Craig's driving around the problems as best he can.
Well, he said that they've just gone through every possible combination they can. Cameron, he just said, what's the point in changing it? Yeah, we've tried everything we can, but not getting any results, so we've just got to get out there and slog it away. Speed line on board Mark Scaife's Commodore. Yellow line on the top denotes road speed. The red line at the bottom, those little blips you see is when he's on and off the brakes. And there's your road speed right over on your extreme right. So get an idea of how quick they're going around here, and how often they use their brakes. This place tough on brakes, Cameron?
It is. It is not so much like Symmons Plains or Sandown, because obviously the top speed is not quite as high. But you are on the brakes and quite a bit, and you can obviously make up a lot of time here under brakes. If you lose a little bit, say through the sweeper here or through the S's at the top of the circuit, you can generally make that time up by just braking that little bit later into the couple of tight second gear corners, as we see Craig doing that. But
through goes Stevie Richards. Up the inside, ran wide, and the Winton Commodore went straight through.
That was a beautifully judged move. I wasn't sure if he was going to be able to get across. But Scaife gave him racing room. Sorry, Lowndes gave him racing room. So Richards on a bit of a charge.
Well, it's been a very impressive run by Stephen Richards, considering where he started, and he hits Mark Scaife.
Oh dear, oh dear. Well, I think Tim Schenk and Clark, of course, is going to have another look at that one.
Wow.
A big tap up the back.
I think we're about to see the incident with Craig here. If you have a look, he's coming quite deep, and just locked the inside front wheel there, nearly ran into the back of Mark, so hit the brakes at the last minute to avoid that, then locked the front, understeered wide, and that was enough. Now you can see this replay here. That's just Stephen Richards has just outbraked himself there. I think he was a little bit hot, thinking that he was now going to try and latch onto the back of Mark. Braked a little too late, and that's really not that fair for Scaife there.
Back to our race leader, the Motor 10 lap counter, 8 of 15. And Bargwanna is looking extremely comfortable as he leads this race.
Looks like a black flag being shown out. Going to be a stop-go penalty for Stephen Richards. The decision's been handed down very, very quickly.
Now Bright's dropped back. Look at this. Jason Bright is back in 5th behind Tander.
Wow.
So, a major disappointment there. We'll see. We've got that on replay on tape. Let's have a look here, Cam.
Yeah, that's...
Whoa!
Sideways under braking there. Now, very big oversteering moment for Bright. He got onto the marbles, but it didn't actually look like the rear tyres locked. So I'm not sure if there was a problem in the rear suspension, a roll bar or something, but certainly some oversteer on the way into the corner and slid wide, and now he's lost 4 spots.
Now coming down that back straight section, a lap ago we saw Larry Perkins pull off, and just then we got a quick shot of Tony Longhurst parked with Larry Perkins as well. So Longhurst not having any luck in the 3rd and final race. So it's now Bargwanna, Ingle, Radicic, Tander, Bright and Stephen Richards. Now we've already heard the black flag has been shown to Stephen Richards, so that will technically get him out of the way for Craig Lowndes to continue on.
Yeah, it's disappointing because, we see it might have been someone running wide there. It's disappointing because obviously doesn't help Mark Scaife. He's now 5 or 6 spots further back and has to do all that work again.
Well, black flag shown again to Stephen Richards and the Winton Commodore. So that little dent in the front of the car after that collision with Mark Scaife. So Stephen Richards under the wrath of the officials at the moment. To Jason Bright. I think his tyres might be going off a bit there, Ken.
Yeah, I think that was definitely a big lose there for rear tyres going away. Hopefully he can hang in.
It has been an amazingly consistent day for Jason Bargwanna. He has looked unstoppable. Ingle, Radicic, Tander, Bright. Richards will be out of there now, and Faulkner will move up into 7th. Crompton on the way forward in 11th. We'll be back with more right after this. Race 3, the 3rd and final, round 10 of the Shell Championship Series, and a brilliant Bargwanna, although he is now coming under pressure from Russell Ingle, who's looked stronger than ever today as he has caught Bargwanna considerably over the last couple of laps and left Radicic behind.
Look back a bit further in the order there too. Bright menacing the back of Tander. He's trying to get back into that position. Looking at the front of Russell Ingle's car. He tries to get away past our race leader, Jason Bargwanna, who's aiming for a perfect clean sweep.
Earlier incident.
Yeah, we can see McDougall. They're down the inside of Larkham. They're going to go side by side here. Oh, Larko straight off the ripple strip into the side of McDougall. And we see here, looks like McDougall did squeeze him for room there, but realistically, Larko perhaps should have been a little kinder, could have given him a bit more racing room, but gee, I mean, that's a very, very tricky part of the circuit to go too wide. So hard to really give blame there, but unfortunately McDougall comes off second best.
Neat piece of work by Dougal McDougall too to give it a little squirt and get out of the way of Mick Donoghue as Russell Ingall is really applying the pressure now to Jason Bargwanna. We saw Bright on Bargwanna earlier, but I think Russell's going to give him a different kind of pressure. We know that Russell likes to drive aggressively and he'll really test Bargwanna here. There's plenty of time left for Russell too.
Yeah, well, as we've seen all day, Jason Bargwanna's drive has been absolutely extraordinary. Hasn't put a wheel wrong or gets a little bit untidy coming out of the corner that time. Ingall so close, just having his rear mirrors full of the silver Commodore as they charge down to the S's. Once again, Ingall goes really close under brakes. Bargwanna really got the thumb screws on now. He's got to survive a lot more of this before he gets the checkered flag.
Yeah, plenty of time for Russell Ingall. Russell will be wanting more laps and Bargwanna will be wanting less. Yeah. It's going to be an anxious time. You might have 10 lap counter, 12 of 15. It's going to be a lot of pressure.
I know that Russell was pretty disappointed after qualifying yesterday. He said he was sure there was a quicker time in the car than the Valvoline Cummins cars had, but he mucked up his qualifying performance. So he's going to be really pumped up to get a maximum result here this afternoon. Jason Bargwanna has just been in very, very fine form this afternoon.
Quickest car on the circuit at the moment is the Ford Tickford Racing AU of Neil Crompton, the only car in the 124s. And a couple of laps before that, it was John Faulkner. Both of those guys on a very big move at the moment. Faulkner currently running 7th ahead of John Bowe. And Ingall's locked it up, and Radisich comes through on the inside.
Well, see an opportunity, he pounced. But Ingall managed to gather it up, hold the shell forward at bay.
Well, how impressive Cameron McConville has Paul Radisich been today. The quiet achiever. He's just kept chipping away. Started 11th. He's got his hands full with Garth Tander as well.
Yeah, this race is far from over, Lee, I can tell you. That was just the breathing space, though, that Jason needed. Really impressive, I must say, though, with the power of Bargwanna's car. He's able to stretch the legs down the straight, but he's looking really good. But look at this freight train now. Ingall hasn't given up hope. And John Faulkner also has been consistently lapping in the low to mid-25, so he's close right up on this bunch as well.
Tander drives defensively. Bright has had to wait yet again for a shot now. He looks at the inside. He's getting a hurry along from Craig Lowndes. It's frantic in the final few laps.
Interesting talking to Mike Excel, who builds the Chevy engines for the Valvoline Cummins team. I said, Mike, looks like you're getting a fair bit of squirt out of these things. And he said, well, yeah, they're adequate. I think he's underplaying that a bit. I'm sitting there looking forward to a strong performance at Bathurst too. Because those engines, the Valvoline Cummins cars, not lacking for anything around here.
Paul Radisich, very disillusioned with what happened at Symmons Plains after starting from pole, spinning towards the end of the race, not finishing, and then starting from the rear in the second race, having an accident and totally missing the day, not scoring any points. But he's making up for it here as Faulkner now moves on to the back of Craig Lowndes. Lap 13 of 15, the dying stages of a very exciting race.
John Bowe really squeezing blood out of a stone today. He's gone right to the top of the leaderboard, back again. It's been a very tough day for the cat board, flying a radiator, be clear and simple onboard camera riding with the 1995 champ. He's up to 8th position, so he's in the top 10. And at the back of this, as Cameron McConville described it, a freight train. Everyone locked in. Not a lot of opportunities to pass at this level. 2 laps remaining. Yeah, Faulkner really sideways.
And Crompton having a strong run at the back there too. He's bridged the margin to John Bowe. So this will be interesting in the final couple of laps. We go back on board now with Russell Ingall.
Oh, Bargwanna.
He's right on Bargwanna. So I was about to say earlier, it looks like Bargwanna's off the hook. But now Russell Ingall has come back.
Russell's last lap time, Lee, was 6/10 faster than Bargwanna, so I would say that the rears of Jason's cars are going away. Russell's looking pretty good because he had lost quite a bit of time with that running wide with Radisich right behind him. He's closed right up now. Look at that. Needs to get maximum drive out of these tight corners here, though, to have a look under braking. He set up a passing manoeuvre under brakes, all determined by that exit drive, particularly out of this turn here.
The enforcer getting very tough with 27-year-old Jason Bargwanna and the Valvoline Cummins Commodore. Time running out for Russell Ingall to make a move.
Well, they're coming around to greet the last lap board. Bargwanna, can he hang on and join his teammate Garth Tander in terms of taking an overall round win in season 1999? Bargwanna hasn't done that as we drift back. Lowndes has got through on Tander and tries for an inside run. Now Tander comes up, Faulkner comes up. You couldn't get them any closer.
It's like a railway shunting yard there, hooking up all the carriages one after the other. But Lowndes proving very effective. Bow defending hard. So Lowndes fighting. Russell Ingall there, applying maximum pressure now. This is nail-biting stuff, Cameron McConville. When you're leading a race like that, it's probably harder than pursuing, isn't it?
Oh, without a doubt. I can tell you now that Russell's probably got the least amount of pressure, but then he's also got to find a way past. But also, Craig Lowndes has done a fantastic job today in a car that has been struggling with setup. You can see that he's still right in there scoring some points for the championship. And I think that really, with an injured left leg, to come back with 4 weeks recovery time is a great effort.
We saw Bargwanna handle extreme pressure from Craig Lowndes when he picked up his first race win at Calder Park last year. Well, he's under a lot of pressure now from Russell Ingall. Bright is on Radicic. This is the way home. This is the last lap.
Half a lap remaining. Can Russell Ingall do it? Spoil Jason Bargwanna's party. He's heading for a clean sweep. If he can bring this one home. Ingall right up behind the Valvoline machine as they rocket out of this corner for the final time. Onto the fastest part of the track. Building up to 230 kilometres an hour on the approach to the S's. Bargwanna goes to the inside. Ingall all over the place looking for an opportunity. But Bargwanna's looking pretty solid right now.
From pole position, 3 race wins. Bargwanna has been brilliant at Winton. Takes the win. Russell Ingall in for second. Look how many cars. Look how close they are. A terrific race. That was the race of the day.
Wow.
Magnificent, and congratulations to Jason Bargwanna. A magnificent performance. Did not put a foot wrong all day long. One
of the true battlers of the sport. Just goes to show, Cameron McConville, if you stick in there and you've got enough ambition, you'll get there.
That's for sure, and I mean, hats off to the whole Gary Rogers team. Jason has done a great job. Really did not make one mistake all weekend, in fact, and they deserve the accolades. Great effort.
They build the entire car in-house. It is truly a team effort, and that is a great reward. None better for the hard work put in by Gary Rogers, the team, and Valvoline Cummins. The final placing sees Bargwanna on top yet again. Great drive, Russell Ingall, very determined one. Paul Radicic, he's got some valuable points in the bag from Bright, Lowndes, Tander, Faulkner and Bow. I think that was Faulkner's best drive this year. Crompton, Johnson, Scape and Murphy rounding out the top 12. We'll be back right after this to wrap it all up.
Well, from the pouring rain at Symmons Plains to the beautiful midwinter sunshine of Victoria, I guess the fickle nature of the weather over the last 2 weeks reflects the very topsy-turvy nature of this fabulous Shell Championship Series. Before we get to our top winners, let's put our hands together for the top place privateer today. Once again, boy, he's doing a good job. Cameron McLean. Well, we saw you in all sorts of trouble out there, but you managed to get the points again.
Yeah, it's a bit of a turnaround. We got turned around in the first race and we came back and win the privateers for the day. We're really happy. The car's going strong.
Congratulations, Cameron McLean, a really top driver in 1999. Third place today. Talk about top drivers. He's really in this championship. The top 5 points have really tightened up, and the man who's right in the middle of it is Russell Ingall. Is that the sort of result you would have expected, or maybe better?
No, look, we're very happy to come out with that. We're in a points fight at the moment, but look, well done to Jason. He drove brilliantly, and thanks to all the country and Winton supporters for coming out here and supporting our category. Well done.
Russell Ingall, folks, third place today. Expect some fireworks from him at Oran Park in 2 weeks' time. Second place today, the only representation, I should say, from Ford on the podium, but it's been a good, strong run from Jason Bright. Plenty of support out there, but gee, that car looked like she was sliding around a bit in that last one.
Yeah, the tyres went off in that last one a little bit earlier than the earlier ones. So, you know, we've got a very good car now. We've been working very hard, and, you know, we're finally getting the rear of the car to work the way we want it. I just want to thank my personal sponsors, Guild and Pertec and that, but congratulations to Jason. He just, he's been on the money all weekend. He put it on pole and 3 wins. Just hopefully we can do that later in the year.
Hopefully you can too. Jason Bright well within this top 5 for the championship battle. Right now it's a fabulous moment. I'd like to call on Ross Brody, the motorsport manager for Shell, to make the presentation to our winner today. It's his first Shell Championship round win, and he's taken a clean sweep. Jason Bargwanna! What can we say? I mean, you won your first Shell round, but gee, to take a clean sweep, that's remarkable.
Well, I thought pole was good yesterday, but this is even better. I mean, the smile on the guy's face says it all, and what a day. I've had fun.
Tell me, what was it like out there? The car was obviously strong. You're on your home test track, and the car just worked beautifully. But also, we can't ignore your input as well. You must have driven it very well.
I drove me butt off out there. I had a ball, but I mean, these guys put a lot of pressure on me out there, and I had a lot of fun. But I mean, we've been working really hard this year with the VT, and the guys in the team have done a great job. And to Gary, I mean, this one's for you, mate. Thanks a lot.
And tell us, can you repeat the form at Oran Park in 2 weeks' time?
You betcha. I can't wait.
There's confidence for you. Put your hands together, folks. Jason Bargwanna, his first big win in the Shell Championship Series.
We began the day with just 136 points separating the top 5. We now have just 170 points separating the top 6. Garth Tander now comes up into the mix, and it is very, very close with just 1 sprint round remaining. Well done to Jason Bargwanna. He takes that 9th position from Tony Longhurst and moves up 1 position better. Well, since the 3-race format has been implemented, no one has taken the clean sweep here at Winton. Cameron Conville, something else for Jason Bargwanna to savour.
Oh, absolutely, and Jason drove fantastically well all weekend, but it just shows what home knowledge really does on this particular circuit. As we said, it's quite a technical track. Tyres played a really big part, but the championship will go right down to the wire, I'd say, all the way to Bathurst.
Fairly hectic race 3 too.
Very, very hectic race 3. In fact, it was pretty much hectic and traffic central all weekend, so that's the way Winton always is, close racing.
Well, in Barry's absence, thanks for filling in, and we
Pleasure.
look forward to seeing you in both the Queensland 500 and the FAI 1000.
Thanks, Lee. Thanks very much.
We'll see you then. Plenty more coming up on your home of Motorsport Network 10 starting tonight. Right after Sports Tonight, it is the Czech 500cc Grand Prix, the 125s and 250s thrown in as well. Join Barry Sheen, Bill Woods and Darryl Beattie for that. That's right after Sports Tonight. But check your local guides wherever you are around the country. Trackside, the next episode, the second last episode of Trackside is coming up next weekend between 3 and 5. It'll feature the Formula Fords, the Formula Holdens, the Privateers, and of course the Century Battery GTPs. The Superbikes are in there, and we're back for the final sprint round at Sydney's Oran Park in just 2 weeks' time. And of course that's between 3 and 5, the usual time. Well, the weather was great, the racing was great. It was a terrific weekend here in Winton. We say goodbye to Victoria, and we look forward to seeing you from Sydney at Oran Park. On behalf of Cam McConville and Mark Osler, I'm Lee Diffie. See you then. McDougall's Allo Quench Commodore.
Hasn't had the safety car out either.
He's not a happy chappy.
Suffering the same